My name's Maya Dengel. I'm a communication studies major and I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Do you know how much it costs to be here?
It costs about $69,000 a year. I pay about 13% roughly of my tuition. That's from working over the summers and such. The rest of it I've put aside throughout the years of my life, just like a certain chunk of when I worked in the summers. And then my grandfather also put aside some money and my parents did that as well.
Do you feel like your tuition is well spent at this university?
For me, it's kind of irritating because especially, I don't know if it's just my department, I don't see where this money is going. I know that Chapman, when I came here, talked a lot about, we make connections and we fund this and we have all these cool projects for you to do and stuff for you to get involved. And I don't see that personally. I don't see the internships. I don't see me making connections with people outside of Chapman, even within Chapman. So it's a bit frustrating because I see all the money that I'm paying here and I don't see any of the reward at the end of the day.
Do you feel as though Chapman cares about your finances?
For me, I don't really feel like they are there to help me out personally with my finances. I know that when I came here, I worked a lot with the admission counselor to get more money and she seemed very helpful. Like, you will be promised, you're guaranteed this. When we say we're giving you money, we're giving you money and you will be able to attend this without fears of what's going to happen financially. For me, I applied to over 150 applications and I have yet to have a job. And that's very frustrating for me when you promise me a certain amount of money saying that if you apply to jobs, you'll get them, and I still don't have a job. It's second semester. I don't know how I'm going to make up the rest of that. That's very stressful for me. I'm willing to do literally anything you ask me and your school just doesn't deliver. It sucks. It really hurts at the end of the day when your education just feels like it's not valued for you to stay here anymore. I know that if it gets any more expensive than what it is, I can't afford to go here. It's already a huge squeeze for my family, and if anything raises and if they can't deliver anymore, I can't afford to be here.
Hi, my name is Jim Whitaker. I'm the Associate Vice President for Enrollment and Chief Financial Aid Officer here at Chapman University and been here since January of 2011. There's a variety of things that go into the formula that create the financial need that a student would have. So it's very difficult to say that there is a cutoff. We have examples of families who make $50,000 a year with one child in college that do not qualify for financial aid because of significant assets that they hold. We have other examples of families who make $150,000 a year, 3 children in college, that receive significant financial aid. So there's not really a cutoff, I guess, would be where I would say that is. The average gift aid package is a little bit under $30,000 that goes to the typical student applying for aid. And most students who choose to work on campus, as I mentioned earlier, will receive some sort of work-study package. Now, as I said at the very beginning, packages are going to vary based upon need, but Chapman is committed to making Chapman affordable for those students who would like to attend. The amount of work study that is available is determined by the allocation that we receive from the federal government and then the match that we have to put on top of that. Students who are awarded work study are encouraged to apply early for positions on campus. Almost all offices on campus do have some work study type positions. Now, what I think may be occurring in the situation you were describing, students who have been on work study in an office before, as long as they're doing well, are obviously going to be students that would be rehired. So if you, as a freshman, take a job here in the admissions office at the front desk and you're a good worker, we'll probably invite you back sophomore year, invite you back junior year unless you have another option that you'd like to go to. So it's easier as a returning student to find a work study position, particularly if you had one the year before. But there's not a preference, at least from the financial aid point of view in offices, as to whether I'd like a senior or a freshman. Now, some offices may determine that they would like upperclassmen because of the type of work they do. Student affairs, for example, may want more seasoned work-study students who have been on campus for a while, at least know the ins and outs. But that's the basic understanding of how work-study.
So when most kids come in, like, part of the financial package is obviously the work-study position that is offered.
Right.
Now, what you're saying is that students who come in as freshmen and receive those positions take them through possibly their senior year of college, which would therefore limit a lot of the positions. So that work study kind of trickles away in a sense because there's not enough positions for students to get.
Well, there's always new positions opening. And I don't want you to come away with the impression that just because they had one as a freshman, they may stay on. Some students don't take advantage of their work study awards. They choose not to work. Some students into their junior, senior year would like to do an internship rather than do work study, so they fall off of the rolls. Some people decide it's better to have a job off campus, either in a career that I'm interested in or a better paying position. Our work study positions here tend to pay minimum wage, about $10 an hour here in California. And so there are, I don't want to say there's a job for everyone, but those students who are persistent tend to be able to find jobs on campus.
When applying to Chapman, is there ever any indication that the tuition will increase every year?
When applying to Chapman, in other words, do we send some sort of notification to students that tuition will go up? I would say not. I would say most institutions don't send that sort of notification to students. I think there's an assumption that as costs increase, there's going to be tuition increases. We've tried to stay in line with all of our competitors and have kept tuition increases to 4 or below 4% over the last few years. So we've maintained it's a small growth in tuition as compared to some schools around the nation, but no, there's not a specific notification to students each year that if you come to Chapman, you can expect tuition to go up. The question as to where tuition dollars go, about a third, a little bit over a third, 37% of tuition is funneled back into financial aid across the board. So almost 4 out of every $10 that are paid in tuition go directly back to students in the form of gift aid from Chapman University. They go for salaries. Tuition dollars also go to help build facilities. So as in most institutions, they go for operational structure, they go for tuition rebate, and they go to improve the quality of services that we offer students here at Chapman.